Calais Campbell will be back in practice today.
Yay!
Five guys not practicing today. Fowler is still on the PUP list. The other four, defensive tackle Ely Anku, linebacker Brooks Ellis, wide receiver DeAndre Smelter.
Jesus.
And offensive lineman Brandon Smith, not practicing.
Did you break it? You all right?
Mike Cade, fresh haircut? Okay.
Hey, you know what? Just trying to stand out.
Had a big date last night. Date night.
Yeah.
Matching sneakers, too.
Yeah, look at that. You gotta go.
Been hanging around the players.
Hey, you know what? I'm just trying to. They still love me.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Look,
yeah.
I'm the worst at it, so it doesn't matter. We'll get this first question out, though, pretty soon, right?
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for you.
I know.
So how do you think the team responded to the 5 days of padded practices?
I think it was fine. I think, you know, I wasn't really looking for anything out of it. I was just looking to try to get a lot of, good work days back in a row, and kind of, that physical where your body's saying, I really don't want to go, and your mind has to take over. That was what I was looking for, but I never asked any of the players that. And I think now that, this is kind of like the next phase of it, where the challenge is you have to, we'll keep practicing like it's training camp, but we have a game coming up. So we really won't do a lot in preparation of the game until actually probably right the day before the game. So for us, this would be just like training camp, and we'll pretty much be that in that type of mentality, probably until, the third preseason game. Maybe we'll practice a day or 2 days more than we normally would. Other than that, we only do it really the day before the game.
What has DJ Chark done that has impressed you in camp, if anything?
I think he made plays. I think he still has a way to go. From what we're looking for from him. I think he's done a pretty good job on teams. And he's made some plays. I think that it'll be interesting to see if those same type of plays carry over into a game atmosphere. So I think you got to see him out there. But I still think we can get a lot more out of him. I really do. So, I'm hoping that, we've sat down, spoke to him about a couple things that we're looking for. So hopefully we'll be able to see it this week.
Is it good that it seems, at least from our perspective, that some wide receivers shine one day, some shine another day, where that you kind of feel like you have a little bit more depth?
Did you say, is that good from our perspective?
As it seems from our perspective.
I don't care about your perspective. No. I think that's good now, but you really like to see it separate. You'd really like to see it separate, and if it doesn't separate, then you hope that the level of play is at a high level that's consistent, where now you have to make a tough decision. I think when it goes up and down, that's it's tough, because that's what I've always tried to tell the team, that we're looking for consistency. Consistency in performance. So if we can, get that out of players, then at least we know what we have.
You sort of know what you have in Miles and Telvin at linebacker, but are you still trying to figure out where some of those other pieces fit best? Who's best at strong side, who maybe is better, backing up Mike and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I would say yes. I think you're correct on that. I think you feel comfortable with the two. I think Blair has played, really well behind the ball. We know that. And then I think we're still, trying to look at things and see where guys fit and see how they play and perform. Before we, I think there's a lot of things. I think early on, we still have a lot of practices left, and we still have, we still have a long way to go as a team. But I think that when you make decisions too early, and cement those decisions, you're in trouble. Sometimes I'm the one in the meetings that say, hey, listen, it'll play out. We'll see how it goes. Hey, we got a long time ahead of ourselves. This will play out. And, give people ample opportunity. But I would say you're correct in that. We're looking at those backup positions and the Sam position and see what the best situation is for us.
What has Jacobs done to at least be the guy out there right now with the ones?
His body type fits it well. I mean, he's, some flashes, and, You know, he's still got a long way to go, and all the rest of them. You know, and I think that Telvin can get better and Miles will get better, and they'll do that during camp. You know, but they're at a level that we feel good about. I think everybody else has to compete and go out there and show it.
Is there something about Blair that fits being in the middle better?
It's probably size. You know.
What have you seen from Logan Cook so far? It seemed like he had a great night.
Who's that?
Logan Cook, the punter.
Who's that? Logan Cook is our punter?
Okay then.
No. He, we were excited. I think, but it goes back to the same thing. I think, he really did have an excellent night. I think he's been able to, and he's really had a pretty good week. So, it was good to see him go out there and do that on the field, and hopefully, he can continue, and we need him to continue, to do well. But it was good to see him out there. I normally don't like to talk about like rookie specialists. That's why I said that. So you guys kind of know that. I don't want to jinx them. That's why.
What were your impressions of the offensive line on Friday night?
I thought the first two lines played well. Against a very good defensive front. I think I left the scrimmage thinking to myself, hey, listen, it was obviously competitive, but like, hey, if you didn't know anything, it was kind of clean. It looked pretty clean, the protections and the blocking.
Improvement from Monday to Friday as you went along.
What was the question?
The progression from Monday to Friday when you had the scrimmage. What things stood out with you about improvement?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think you go out there every day. There's a lot of things that you can improve on. If you're not, you're in trouble at this time of year because you're not. At least for me, I don't feel like we're anywhere near ready to play a game yet. I'm talking about a regular season game. So if we're not making these improvements on a daily basis, then it's going to hold us back into being the type of team we want to be. So there's a lot of things. We make mistakes, and we've got to use those mistakes as learning opportunities. I think that you saw one the other night. We were talking about someone mentioned DJ, someone mentioned Logan. Logan has a great kick. The ball bounces up. O'Shaughnessy goes down there and tips it back. Make sure it doesn't go in the end zone. And DJ comes and slides, and he's in the end zone with his knee and touches the ball. So I think it's those things like that. You can take that and say, okay, listen, here's what we're trying to do. This is how we'd like to do it, and you take those moments and you teach. And I think that's what, that's where we are right now. I do think sometimes you go in as, there's a little bit of improvement, and then you may have a practice where you take a little bit of a dip, then improvement, dip, improvement. But what you don't want to see is a great practice, a very poor practice. You don't want to see that type of inconsistency. So at the end of the day, when you look at all the practices backed up, and if you put it on a graph, you would see the incline going up gradually with the dots that they may move a little bit up or down, but they're never going to be like this. So that's one of the things that we try to keep in our mind as we go to keep pushing them.
Miles Jack last year seemed to take his game to another level in the postseason. You feel like he was just scratching the surface of his potential, and what sets him apart a little bit from a talent?
I do. I really think he's a heck of a player. I think he's a guy that he has good command. He runs well. He's a physical player. There's a lot of things. I think he's improved. From where he was at this time last year. So, I really, and I felt that he played very well last year, but I really think we can get more out of him. And I think, he expects more of himself. So, he's worked extremely hard. He's been here pretty much the whole year. I mean, I've seen him, he's here in the off season and working hard. I think he looks good. I think he's ready to have a good year. I think he's got to, these next couple of weeks, keep working, making sure that he's ready to go. We haven't tackled yet, but he's shown that he's able to do that. But I think he's a heck of a football player, and we just got to, keep him going in that direction and keep him out there. And then obviously, like everybody else, you just got to keep him healthy.
Coach, can you talk about Yannick and a guy who had a high number of sacks last season and working to improve and coming up with a finishing move? And
Yeah, I talked about him. I forget who was that. We did something the other day with him. And somebody was asking, and we're trying to get into like hey, what motivates him? What that? I'm like, listen, he kind of plays with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, he walks in this building with something to prove all the time. I think that I have a great deal of respect for him because he's someone that's always it's from a technical standpoint. I mean, as far as his physical condition, he's in outstanding shape, and he works at it. But the technical part of it, I think. I remember when he was out at the Pro Bowl, I went out there, and I see him over to the side with, Von Miller and a couple of the other pass rushers, and and they're talking, and then, I said, hey, how's it going? Good, I'm learning this and learning. And I'm like, hey, this is great for you. Get as much information as you possibly can, but don't give up any of your stuff. That's the way the NFL is. That's what you're always trying to do. That you're in the information gathering business, not the information giving. But I think that's the type of guy he is. I mean, whatever he had last year wasn't good enough, for him. He's going to want more, and he's going to work on things to better his craft. So, he's an exciting guy. He makes us a better football team, not only by his play, but he helps our offensive guys, obviously get better. And he's having a good camp.
How is Marquise Lee performing for you?
He just got back on the field, really.
What
So
did you see Friday night?
I saw a player that just got back, from injury. So I think it's, it's kind of hard because, if I'm here saying, hey, I want to see consistency throughout, and then all of a sudden, hey, he comes back out there and, he made a couple of good plays, which was good to see. It's good, that someone can come back and make some plays. And then now you're looking for it to continue to be on a consistent basis. I think that, sometimes a lot of guys come back and they don't make plays and it takes a while. But, he made a couple, and now we're expecting to make, more today, more the next day, and keep progressing that way.
Do you learn a little bit about your team today in terms of the professionalism, how they approach practice coming off a day off? Is that something that you look forward to seeing, the energy level and tempo that they play with today? Well,
we talked about it as a staff last night. We in my opinion, we really haven't practiced as well coming from a day off. So I think that's one of our goals today is to try to have a better practice and try to set that mode, which is I don't want to say it's normal because I'm sure there's a lot of teams that can do it, but for our team we have to do a better job of that.
From an effort standpoint, it seems like D.D. Westbrook's really sitting out, just diving for a lot of catches and stuff like that. Is there ever any concern that guys are going too hard during training?
Just the punter.
The only thing you get concerned about is if it's not what we want. If we have thud and someone's trying to tackle someone or someone falls down on the ground, and it's not because obviously they don't want to do that, or maybe there's a type of contact that you don't really want to have because it's a tag off period. I think those are the things that I would be concerned about, as people taking it, I would be concerned about safety issues, not how hard they're going. That's the point. We want to get them to go, harder than they've ever gone before. So this way, and I know people say this all the time. What we're trying to do is make the games a lot easier than the practice. I mean, that's all. That's really what our goal is.
Was that a legal hit on Alvin Smith had on your running back?
I don't. You should ask the officials. I don't officiate.
Did you review that
Yeah.
tape, though? You said.
I don't know. I think there was a couple in there that